to all my fellow fic lovers. We had night one of Festivali Këngës 62 today. I watched it at work and I have my thoughts. And so we're going to do a nightly fic report. So let's jump right into it because there were a lot of songs. Hopefully, if the copyright's not too strong, I can have a little bit of the songs playing in the background as we talk about them, but no guarantees. So overall, I will say, I had high hopes starting out with the first couple of songs. I did. And then those hopes did go away. And I hate to say that because I love fic. I've been following fic for years, but it's just the case. So you can check in the timeline below. I should have demarcators of what songs I'm talking about at what points, but we're just going to go in running order. So the first song up was Stivi, Ushe with Askush. So first off, this is the song that made me think, okay, this is going to be a good night. It was so Albanian. It was Albanian as hell in a way that I love. It felt so traditionally Albanian. It had that kind of classically Balkan energy, especially classically Balkan Eurovision energy from that solo male artist. I loved it. He has a really lovely voice. And I appreciated how greatly the song built. So like by the time that instrumental breakdown and that final chorus came, I felt like we had really arrived somewhere that was vastly different from where we started. So I really liked this. I really even could love it with a couple more listens. And so this was one of my favorites of the night, honestly. I'll just say that right out of the gate. This had kind of everything I was looking for in terms of a fic entry. Do I think it should win necessarily? I don't know. We haven't heard the night two entries. It wasn't my favorite of night one, but I really enjoyed it, and it was one of my top three of the night for sure. So next we had Besa Kokëdhima with Zemrën. So this was the song. This was a song where I could feel exactly where it was going to go from the beginning. I mean, some songs just follow a pattern that you're so familiar with. You can tell from the first few notes, oh, I know where this is going. And I love it. And this was one of those songs for me. This was really right up my alley. Like if I had a checklist of everything I wanted from this kind of Albanian power ballad entry from a female vocalist, it just checked all of the boxes. Let's see what I wrote here. Enormous melodic chorus. It was huge. Biggest chorus of the night. Powerful voice and performance. It wasn't just the voice. You could tell she was emotionally invested in it. And I love that little rap breakdown and a key change. Like I said, it just checked the boxes, This was my favorite of the night. I'll just say that right now. I cannot even rank all these entries because this video wouldn't come out for another 3 days if I had to like rank these and like get all fancy with it. But suffice it to say, this is my favorite entry of the night by far. I loved it. I loved everything that Besa was bringing. I can't wait to hear it again on the final night because she's gonna be at the final, right? She's gonna be on that final night. So I'm actually gonna watch this one again before I go to sleep tonight because I just loved it that much. I loved her outfit. I loved how commanding the outfit was, just like the song. Chef's kiss, perfection. So next was when I started to say, what's going on here? So next we had Retkoceri with Çmendur, otherwise known as Confessions of an Albanian E-Boy. When I first saw this, I was like, he looks like they pulled him straight from TikTok and put him onto that stage. Now, I will say, the song was not bad. I was a little bit shocked at first, but the song actually wasn't bad. As it went along, I was like, I could listen to this. It's not going to be my winner, but I could listen to this. The outfit, I actually liked the outfit. It was cute. It was Gen Z, whoop-de-woo. I liked the outfit. The performance left a little bit to be desired for me. It just looked like he has not found himself as an artist on stage, and it was a little just awkward. Sometimes the facial expressions, the movements. He had very large arms, and they were very out to the side. Like, it was just a little awkward. So I think he just needs to find himself a little bit more on that stage. Is he one of the kind of new coming artists? I know they always have some new coming artists every year, so let me know. But I did say his voice was good. I wrote down that his voice was good. I enjoyed the voice. But then at the very end, he said something at the very end after the song was done, and I said, okay, this is douchey.com. Like, it's too much. It's too much. So I enjoyed it for the spectacle, and I honestly think he could go somewhere, but right now, I think we just need a little bit more practice. So next, and this is where I started saying, okay, this ain't great. This ain't going in a direction that I like. We had Eldis Arrnjeti with kujtim. So this man is returning. He's returning. He's returning. He was here before. So I was like, okay, a familiar face. Anywho, the first thing I wrote about this piece as I was listening to it was sleepy. It felt sleepy. But then I said, maybe it's dreamy? Is it sleepy or is it dreamy? And then I think I came to the conclusion that it was a little of both, but pretty much more sleepy. Again, it's another person with a good voice. Like, pretty much everybody in Albania has a good voice. So that's standard. So it's like, how do we get above that? He has a good voice, but the first chorus and the verse was not enough to keep my attention, and then the rest of the song was not enough to keep my attention. So as much as he seems like a really cool person, I just need him to come with a little bit more engaging song. Whether he goes full passionate power ballad, whether he goes, I don't know, rock, get a little edgy, I don't know, something, just something, put a spin on it to keep our attention a little bit more. Unless maybe he doesn't care about winning and he just wants to be himself. And in that case, be yourself. But if you want to win, and I would like for you to win one day, I love a returner. You know, you seem so cool. Just give us a little spice, give us a little something extra, no matter what direction that goes in. So next, we had Shpat Deda with Smund Fitoi Patu. I forgot which one this was for a second. But the first note that I have is when I saw how he was scrunching his face up, I knew exactly what the song was going to sound like. He had that acoustic guitar. That's right. That's right. I knew exactly what this was going to sound like. I just knew. You can sometimes just look at people and say, I know what this song is going to sound like. And this was that case. But I will say, I stood corrected because the song had much more vocal intricacy than I expected. I expected it just to be the standard kind of gruff acoustic track, and it was the gruff acoustic track, but he had a lot of vocal melisma involved, and I really appreciated that. It gave it kind of a more interesting twist than otherwise I think the song would have had. That being said, this whole acoustic, semi-acoustic thing, it doesn't do it for me. It never has. It probably never will. I have to really be into a song with acoustic guitar in order for it to be one of my faves, and this was certainly not. It was not unpleasant to listen to, but this was not enough for me, and I would not like this to win. So next, we have... Sorry, I'm just trying to fly through these because we have so many of them. So many of them. So, and we have a whole other night tomorrow. So I'm excited. I'm holding out hope. Next, we had Jehona Ponari with Evol. This was another one where I was like, I looked at the name. It looks like a cognate of, I don't know, evolution, evolve, something like that. And so I was like, I have an idea of what this is going to be. And when she came out with that veil on, I was like, yeah, this is what I thought it was going to be. But unfortunately, it did not land. It did not land. And I'm pretty sure they announced her as like the writer, the lyricist, and the singer. And I'm like, for a self-written song, it seemed a little bit too low for her voice in a lot of places. And the thing about live performances is you gotta account for the adrenaline that's going to be coursing through your body, that's going to make low notes. What the fuck was that? That's going to make low notes more difficult to hit. And so I think that was not taken into account because especially throughout that first verse and even the second verse, there were many points where I was like, this song sounds just way too low for her, way too low. So I get the vision. The vision is there. I saw the vision. And again, it was something that goes with the title of the song, so it seems intuitive, but it just was not executed in the way that it needed to be. So next up was the Pan Quartet. And this one, I saw the name, I said, I'm scared. With Edhe. So the biggest thing that I wrote here was like, what genre would you call this? I couldn't land on a definitive genre, and maybe it doesn't have one. Maybe it's genre bending. Maybe it's its own genre. But the thing about it was, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. And the lead singer was very good looking to me. I was like, you are very good looking, sir. It had a groove to it. It was a groovy song, but I didn't feel like it was for Eurovision. Like, I didn't feel like without a major revamp, and even maybe with a major revamp, I didn't think it was a song that would do well in Eurovision, but I really actually enjoyed listening to it. So this was, I'm sorry, I have this mic set super sensitively, so it's just picking up each and every sound from outside of my apartment, including a train. Anywho, groovy, not for Eurovision, but I actually liked listening to it. It was probably, I don't know, it may have been one of my top 5 for the night just in terms of listenability. So next, we're moving on to Festina Mejzini, another veteran of FIC, with the song Melos. So here's the thing about this. I've always admired Festina's voice. She's always had a good voice, but I've never really loved her songs. I've never really loved her entries. I'll say her entries because I don't know her music outside of FIC, but of the FIC songs, I never really loved them. I've always been like, oh, not bad. But I've never really loved them. Like, this was dramatic. This was a very dramatic entry, but I wasn't fully sold on the drama. I was like, dramatic, but for what? Like, it didn't feel all the way authentic. I don't know, there was something that was missing for me in terms of this song. So I just need Festina to come with a little bit more authenticity, maybe. Maybe she needs to go for a different type of song, not just a dramatic for dramatic's sake, but something that can be more easily connected with. Because there are certainly songs tonight that were dramatic, but that I connected with in a way that I did not connect with this song. So it wasn't bad by any means, but it was just not something that really resonated with me as an individual. So next we have another veteran, a guy that I really like, Kastro Zizo. So first with Këngës. So first off, when he came out, I did not recognize him. I said, who the hell is this man with a Nene Leakes blonde mini cut? And I was like, oh, that's the man himself. That's Mr. Gruff Voice himself. But I still love him. He looked kind of good with the blonde. I like a fake blonde. I do. So he looked good. This song seemed to have a really interesting mix to me. It seemed like the backing vocals throughout a lot of it were louder than the main vocal. And I don't know if that was the intention, but I didn't like that. This was not my favorite song of his. I liked his song from, 2-3 years ago? I would have to look up what it's called, but I really liked that song. That was a little bit more hard-hitting. Now, he's one of those singers where it always sounds like he has a message, whether or not you speak Albanian, and I felt that, and I did connect with that. I was like, he is saying something important here. However, I didn't fully understand what that was. I didn't fully understand what he was saying. And yes, I'll look up the lyrics. I always look up the lyrics after. I guess the song is called 2073, so clearly something about the future. But it just wasn't as impactful as some of his other entries. But I didn't dislike it. I liked it. So next is Luan Durmishi with Përsëritja. So this one was interesting right off the bat with kind of that phone dial that was pervading throughout the song, with that deep voice in the background. It kind of felt techno, future, post-apocalyptic-istic. Whatever. I put a suffix somewhere that it didn't belong. But anyway, it felt like it was a sort of warning or commentary of some sort, especially with that deep voice. You know, maybe it wasn't. Maybe I'm misreading this, mishearing this, but it felt like some sort of warning or commentary in terms of technology and utilization of technology. And then I did tune in through the last couple of rounds of the chorus to that English saying, repetition is the mother of learning, repetition is my own mother, or something like that. And so I really need to sit and think through exactly what that means. Like, I understand the repetition is the mother of learning, but the repetition is my own mother. Are you are you learning? Like, are you the concept of learn? Like, I don't know. I gotta sit with it. I gotta sit with it. Um, in terms of a song, I really didn't love the song itself. This is a song that is for a population that's not totally myself. Like, I like a message song as much as anybody else, but I like a message song with like a super powerful, on point, clean vocal. And this had a powerful vocal, but it was not always on point and it was not always clean. And by clean, I don't mean clear. I like a gruff vocal, but a gruff vocal that is controlled. So there was just a little bit of out of control in this that I really didn't love. Now, maybe that's what he wanted. Maybe that's what goes with the song. But for me, it made the song not as strong. We are really pushing through here. I like it because there are so many. I'm going to have to do another one of these tomorrow. So next was Melodajn Mancaku with, sorry, I can't read my own handwriting, Nuk Jemi Ne. So this was another one where I had great hope. I had great hope at the beginning. But throughout the song, I really came to not like the song. Like, not dislike the song, but I really didn't like the song. It was a little boring to me. It just didn't really go anywhere. It sounded old. She is so young and so vibrant. Why do you have such an old song? It sounds old. I didn't like it. I did not like that. She needs something much more youthful. I also sensed just a lack of experience in her on-stage persona. She seemed nervous, but also maybe a little bit hot, like temperature hot, and just generally uncomfortable on stage. She didn't look comfortable on stage. And so I really just did not like this performance as a whole. I would say I liked her song last year more, but she just has not gotten that song that I've really gotten behind. Her sister, on the other hand, what was that one song that she brought a couple of years back? Ende. That is a song I can get behind. Ende. That is a... Ooh, Wendy, come back with your sister, Ethan. But yes, that was good. This was not as good for me. Let's write a song like Ende and then we can talk. Okay, maybe we can have a duet. It could be great, but this was just not the business for me. Next up was Olsi Ballta with Un. I totally thought this was... Never mind. I won't even get into that. Basically, this was one where I was like, okay, this is one where I recognize that it's not objectively an issue, but it's just not my type of song. Like, if you are a rock fan, you were probably like, yeah, this is the best thing ever. And I liked it, but I was like, but it's not one of my top 5 from the night, just because it's not my type of rock. I do like rock. There's certain rock that I like. I like a pop rock a lot. And this was just not quite in that realm. But this was another good looking motherfucker. So kudos to you, sir. You are good looking and your song was really, really good for a certain demographic. It was nice for me, but I can see other people being like, oh wow, that was amazing. So I definitely know that there are fans out there for you. Next was Andi Tanko with Hair Pas Hair. This was the lesser of those two rock songs. Between Olsi and Andi, I did not like this one as much. There was so much less distinctive about this one to me. It did not seem to stand out from the fold really in any remarkable way. I think the guitar solo was my favorite part of this song. Otherwise, it just sounded super generic. At least the other song, at least Olsi's song, visually it was arresting. Sonically, it was semi-arresting, even as somebody who didn't love it, because I don't love that type of music. This really just did not do anything for me. It did not do anything really at all. Next is Sergio Haidini with Uragan. This is one that I saw that there was something behind it with the outfit. like it's nature, it's green, but the song did not go anywhere that I would have liked it to. And so the visuals, while pretty, were not enough. They were not enough for me to say, oh wow, that was a moment. That's about all I have for that song. At this point in the show, I was pretty tired, to say the least. I was pretty tired. So last two. Next is Santino De Bartolo with Dua Metu. This was just, the sound did not work at the beginning of it. I don't know if that was just for me or for everybody, but the sound did not work. And then when the sound did work, I didn't care. Like, respectfully, I did not want to listen to the rest of it. It was just, it sounded like something that an older Albanian man should be playing at a open mic night at a bar, having a good time. But for Fick, no thank you, no thank you. And then the final song was Olimpia Smajlaj with Asaj. So this one first opened, I said it was a ballad. So I said, okay, this could be really good for me. And then as the song went on, I said, okay, she sounds good and she looks good, but the chorus was not my favorite. It wasn't as impactful, it wasn't as melodic and memorable as the Albanian ballads that I tend to love from the selection each year. You know, see Vanessa Sono, see Enis Naziri, see Wendy with Ende, like, those have remarkable choruses that are huge, melodic, beautiful, memorable, all of it. This one was not quite to that level for me, but it was still good. I liked it, and as the song continued, I liked it even more as she got into the performance, but I was never totally sold. And so among the crop of songs that we had tonight, this was probably in my top 3, but hopefully if night 2 is stronger, this won't have to be in my top 3, if that makes sense. So anyway, this was not a very strong night. This was not a very strong night, and I hate to say it, but it just was not. So I'm fingers crossed, hoping that when I'm at work tomorrow watching night 2, that's where we really get the hard-hitting ballads, bops, rock songs, just the songs that really take you by the ear and make you listen, no matter what genre they are. I'm really hopeful. And so anyway, let me know what you thought of night 1 of Fick. Let me know who your top 2 of night 1 of Fick 62 were. I want to know who your top 2 were. And if one of them is not Besa, then don't even tell me. I don't even want to know. I'm just kidding. Please do anyway. But anyway, can't wait to watch night 2. Can't wait to do my nightly Fick recap like I do each year. Anyway, thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for watching this video. And as always, I'll see you next time.